this session and all of them should be dedicated to Rifai Shlema, our dear Rabbi Yaron Ruven Shlita. His name is Yaron Ben Doris. Yehudis Basno, Hariela Ora Basana, Yimim Rasirachal Basbrandel, Dovid Shlomo Ben Sandra. Also, quick release of Moshe Shmuel Ben Pnina and Atzlacha Rabba to Giveres Chana Bas Avram Avinu and the whole family. BeEzrat HaShem. So we continue today with our class Shabbos Home, and we start new topic. It's chapter 23, Trapping. Tzeidah. So this is very, very applicable to people who have pets, right? Birds especially. So some people who have birds, they ask me about bird food, and several times. And I said, by the way, but do you know how to feed your birds on Shabbos? Yom Tov? Say, what do you mean? Like just feed? No, it's not. It's not so simple, right? Right. We're going to learn today, right? And actually, it's also very, very applicable to the sukkahs that is coming up, right? How to sit in sukkah and how to deal with annoying flies, right? Wasps, all these creatures. Okay, so let's start BeEzrat HaShem. So section number 1, the Av Melachah. Tzeidah, trapping, is one of the 39 Avos Melachas, all of which have the origin in activities performed during the construction of the Mishkan. At the time they trapped the multicolored animals, a multicolored animal known as Tachash, whose hide they used to make leather for the covering of the Mishkan. They also trapped the sea creature called Hilazon, whose fluids were needed to produce the blue-green techeles dye used to color the covering of the Mishkan. Okay. So let's do from the beginning. Okay, so as everything, right, as all these melachas that we learn until now, it's positive melacha, right? So like a melacha that used for some positive purpose, constructive purpose, that is used for construction of the Mishkan. So in this tzeidah, trapping is not exception. So meaning what they would trap this tachash, like it's multi-color animal, right? Multi-color skin animal. So I think I always say that until that time in the desert, the animal tachash was not known, and after they fulfilled their purpose, I think they extinguished. So there is no more right? Yeah, right. So becoming extinct. So there's no more tachash today, right? And not only today, after the time of the building of the Mishkan. Okay. So but it tells me at least. So these skins were so durable. They would not need any fixing, or they have some extra, because other things they get ruined, right, with years. And we know that Mishkan was used for many hundreds of years. Okay. So continue. So they trap. So what does it mean trap? Meaning it was wild animal. So domesticated animals you don't need to trap. They are like already trapped in a sense. Okay. They also trapped the sea creature called Hilazon. So Hilazon, that's we need for Tacheles. It was used in these curtains, in the Mishkan and other things. Also, I think also in tzitzis. Right today we don't have this blue string, even though somewhere, I'm not sure if it's correct, not correct. We don't have a clear tradition about it. So when we don't have clear tradition, so meaning there is no obligation. So maybe they're wrong. Okay. So but white for sure you fulfill the obligation with white. Okay. So meaning trapping. So meaning sea creatures. Well, right. So meaning we understand trap a fish or a hilazon. You need some kind of nets and to trap These other animals, you need some other like devices as well. Okay. So number 2, definition. In a context of the halacha prohibition of trapping, is defined as capture living creature by confining in such a way that easily brought into one's possession and control. So the wording is so precise. You will see when we unravel this halacha, like how precise it, like 3 sentences, or what is it? Not three lines. It's 1 sentence. Very, very precise. I'm going to repeat again. Very, you cannot say any better. In this context, the Shabbos definition of trapping is defined as capturing a living creature by confining in such a way that it is easily brought into one's possession and control. So meaning that you limit the move of this animal, the area of the move. So meaning if you trap a fly in a room, if you close the room, there's a fly, you did not trap the fly, you cannot easily catch it, right? But if you cover with a cup, you have this plastic cup, and you cover over, so it's much easier to catch it if you know how, right? Same with cow, right? If you have like a maybe not cows and maybe some rabbit or something, right? So some animal that can run away. So if it's huge area, you did not catch it. But if it's tiny area, like some small bugs, yes, you caught it because it's you usually can get under your control. Okay, so this wording is very precise. Section number 3: activities prohibited under the Melachah of Trapping. Basically, any action that causes a living creature to be closely confined violates the Melachah of Trapping. Here's the several common activities that fall under this prohibition. So before going into details, let's see this sort of introduction. So again, activities prohibited under Melachah of Trapping. Any action that causes living creature to be closely confined. So meaning, as we said, as just explained, based on the size of the creature, right, and how this creature feels, feels trapped or not, right. So, for example, you have a big dog and you get scared of the dog, and you close the dog in the bathroom on the 2nd floor or something. So let's say you have 2 bathrooms. You have guest bathroom in the 1st floor, so there is no problem. But you have another bathroom upstairs, so you lock your door. So dog does not want to be in the bathroom, let's say, right? He wants out. So meaning, in a sense, you trapped the dog, right? Right, or birds, right? So birds you put in a cage, for sure they're trapped. And meaning what? It's easy to catch them. Here's the several common activities that fall under the prohibition. A. Capturing animal by hand. A person is prohibited to capture the living creature, on Shabbos by seizing it by hand. So here we go. It's we're going to see some exceptions of, for example, pets. And they're not they're not threatened that if you catch them by with your hands, because they think that you're playing with them. And they actually like your petting or something. So that it's not exactly that, right? So if they want to live, yes, that's the story. But otherwise, it's not considered be catching. So again, a person is prohibited to capture any living creature on Shabbos season it's in his hand. So meaning that animal wants to get out. Okay, continue. B. Setting a trap. So this when we say trapping, I think this one is more like it's readily come to our mind. Right, setting a trap. Setting a trap on Shabbos is forbidden under the Melachah of trapping. Under some circumstances, setting a trap will violate biblical law, namely, where the animal walks into the trap and as soon as the trap is placed, Right. If, however, some time elapses before the animal is captured, one has transgressed rabbinic prohibition only. The rabbis enacted this decree because they were concerned that permitting this sort of trapping might lead a person to violate the Shabbos by setting trap in a situation when the animal will be captured immediately. With regard to the setting a trap of Erev Shabbos, see page 351. So it's we're not going to get to it today. If it's 351, it's a very long chapter basically. Okay, we're going to get to it. So let's try to understand. So meaning when we say trapping, that's what it means. Trapping like wild animals. So let's see from the beginning. Setting the trap on Shabbos is forbidden. So as we saw from the last sentence, even before Shabbos, it's could be problematic. So even if you do something on Friday, right? So meaning that we'll see if you do something on Friday afternoon, like people said nets, right? Nets to catch fish. So you don't know when the fish was caught. Maybe it was caught on Friday before the sundown, maybe on Shabbos, maybe Shabbos after that time, maybe a Shabbos day, you don't know, right? So you're allowed to use this fish, but much later on. Okay. So again, setting traps on Shabbos is forbidden. So, but we're talking on a Shabbos day. Under the Melachah of Trapping, say down. Under some circumstances, right, setting the trap will violate the biblical law. So the biblical law, if it's when you do something and it happens, like it is cause, right, cause and effect right away. So, but if it's not directly cause and effect, meaning that you set a trap and this animal walked into this trap when you walked away, or like 10 minutes ago, right? So meaning it's not inevitable that it will get trapped, right? Right? So and it's not right away. So it's called grama. Grama means indirectly. So was it caught before because of your trap? 100%, but was indirectly. So when it is indirectly, a person cannot be tried and he cannot get, for example, in this case, death penalty. Same, for example, if somebody did what? Somebody tied somebody in a forest, right, in jungle or something. So we know that for sure, it's not maybe, it is for sure like wild animals, so that they're going to eat this person, right, tied to a tree. And that's what happened. During the night, the wild animal ate this person, right? So this person who tied this person is not going to be tried like he cannot be tried for death penalty for killing another person in the earthly court, right? Because it was indirect grammar, right? So it was not inevitable that person is going to die. Maybe this wild animal will find some other prey, a bull that got lost or something, a cow, I don't know, something. So maybe they would not eat this person. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they get food poisoning or something. Right, so whatever. So it's not direct. When somebody shoots an arrow or shoots a gun or something, yeah, that's direct. So right, so that's direct, because yeah, it's a little delayed. Yes, this person did not touch another person, but that's direct. You understand? So in this case, person is going to be tried as a murderer. But of course, that person who tied another person, he's not absolved or she's not absolved in the hands of heaven, right? In the courts of heaven, for sure. That's a death penalty from the hands of heaven, right? So here, okay. Again, biblical law only if it's cause and direct effect. In this case, right, since if your animal did not go into the trap right away, so it's forbidden only. And I don't want to minimize as usual. It's forbidden on rabbinical law, on a rabbinical level, right? Because rabbis, in their great wisdom, they saw if you allow this, so the people, as we always say, would not see what the difference is. Like animal got caught 5 minutes ago, right? 5 minutes later after a person set a trap, or right away 3 seconds ago, the animal was walking. You put the trap, you did 2 steps back and step in the trap. So right. Okay, or you saw that the fish is jumping from the water. You threw the net. So okay. Or you read it on Shabbos, like Shabbos morning or Shabbos afternoon. There were no fish. Nobody's jumping. Maybe fish there, maybe not there. So you put the net. So I mean, it would be forbidden for sure on rabbinical level. Okay, because again, people would not know the difference. Okay, so continue. C. So we're going through this different examples. Confine an animal to a room. One who closes the door to a room or enclosure that contains an animal, thereby preventing the animal from living, has violated Melachah of Trapping, provided that enclosure is a small one. See below. Okay. So let's see from the beginning. So enclosure, of course, there is enclosure. What do they call corral or something like for where you have sheep. So I mean, yes, you close the door, you lock the door, but it's so big basically they can roam around. They would not feel like captured, confined. But in the case of cows, for example, when they in a barn, right, and it's a small stall, like it can only stand or lay down a little, like a very tiny room. That for sure it's confinement. So again, one who closes the door to a room or a closure that contains an animal, thereby preventing the animal from living. So just to close the door without locking, there is no problem. Right? So meaning if animal sometimes it would push the door and try to get out, that's a different story. So this person violated the Melachah of Trapping. Right. So providing, of course, that small is the enclosure is small one, as we're going to learn. So and example D. Trapping with animals. Using hunting animals to trap another animal is forbidden under the Melachah of Trapping. In some circumstances, this violates biblical law, namely where the person aids in trapping. For example, if a person sends a hunting dog to catch a deer and then stands in front of the deer to block its way and confuse it, thereby allowing dog to grab hold of the deer, he has transgressed the Torah prohibition. If, however, a person simply sends out the hunting dogs, but does not himself participate in a hunt, he has violated rabbinic decree only. Okay. So let's try to understand about these hunted dogs. Okay. So trapping with animals. I'm not sure if they trap with any other animals. I think it's only dogs, but could be other animals. I'm not sure. Okay. So again, if a person send the hunting dogs, right, to hunt another animal, so and a person helps these dogs to capture. So meaning he's a part of this. So he violates the biblical law, right? So but if he only sends the dogs without helping them, the dogs, he violates rabbinical law, right? So an example that he gives that help a person can help the hunting dogs. So he's blocking the way, send the fronts. I'm not sure how is it not in my mind. How is it not dangerous to block the way of the deer? Because I mean it's around the whole speed, and maybe it's lighter than a person, but it has horns. If it if it hits the person, he's going to fly, I think. Right? If he's with a big speed, I'm not sure. Maybe they afraid of a person. Okay. I'm not sure what's the deal, but looks like I mean from what is written here, looks like deer is not going to go against the person, right? So he's going to get confused or something, and this allowed the dog to grab onto the deer. I'm not sure what does it mean. I mean, how are you going to use this deer if the deer would become wounded? So it depends on the wound. Maybe you will not be able to do shchita, right? And then I'm not sure what this deer would be good for. I'm not sure. I mean, sent to non-Jews. I don't know. Okay. If a person simply sends a hunting dog, but does not himself participate in the hunt, he violated the rabbinical decree only. Okay, so let's go in the next section, section number 4, and our topic is the Torah prohibition of trapping. Just one second, let me just add some. Okay. All right, so we continue. The Torah prohibition of trapping. One violates the biblical Melachah of Trapping only if his action meets the following conditions. There are, okay, so now we start as usual from a Torah prohibition. He traps a healthy, entirely free creature. B, his subjective must be to use the trapping creature for some purpose. C, it must be a creature that commonly trapped. D, he must confine the creature in a small area. Let's now elucidate these conditions. Okay, so before we continue, let's try to understand from the beginning. It must be A, it must trap the healthy and entirely free creature. Right, so meaning this domesticated animal has been said it's not exactly this case. B, objective must be to use a trapped creature for some purpose. Okay. So meaning you use the meat or the hide or something, or maybe make it work for you. C, it must be a creature that is commonly trapped. And D, it must confine the creature in a small area. So small areas we explain based on the size of the creature and the creature's habit. So if you trap the fly in a room, so it feels as free. Okay, so continue. Now we're going to point by point. A, creature must be healthy and free. Basic requirement of the Melachah of Trapping is that the Melachah must be, that animal must be free and able to flee capture. If, however, the animal is unable to flee because it is injured, sick, or old, it is considered as to be in constant state of capture in double quotes. One who traps this animal has accomplished nothing. Therefore, his act does not violate the Torah prohibition. It, however, prohibited under the rabbinical law. Okay, see section 5a. Okay, it's next section. So let's do from the beginning. And it's actually this law, before we continue, we actually learn in it's in Baba Mitzvah in the laws of acquisition. So it says that in some cases, property of a person can acquire him things. For example, a person stands by the side of his field, and there is animal there, or so there is something fell from the sky or something, right? Or right, somebody lost something in his field, and other people also saw it, and he said, "Let my field acquire this for me." Okay, so now, right, other people even they run, so that doesn't matter. His field acquired these things for him. Somebody's hat, let's say. Head was blown from somebody's head where a person was I don't know, riding the horse, wind blew of the head, person did not even notice, no problem. So now he said let this field acquire for me a head, no problem. Or some animal, right? So it says that the Talmud says depend what's animal, like it said, tiny chicks. They cannot fly away. They cannot, right? They are tiny, so maybe they can try to run away, but it's you can easily catch them, right? So they are captured. But or if it's like an old deer, right, or a wounded deer, so it cannot run away. But if it's young deer, very healthy, go capture, or a rabbit, right? He wants the fur, for example, from the rabbit. They used to. I mean, they still use it for to make hats. Right, winter hats from rabbit, or like they use what is it for sleepers, for other things, no problem. good fur. So meaning if it's young rabbit, it's going to jump away, like run away in 3.5 seconds. You're very close to it. It's not. It's very hard to catch it. So it's not caught. So meaning a person, even though he declared, let my field acquire this rabbit for me, he said exactly nothing. Why? Because he cannot catch it, right? But if it's something old or wounded, so meaning there is opportunity for him to catch it, or if he were there next to it, right? So this field acquired for him. So same exactly idea is here. So again, the basic requirement Melachah of Trapping is the animal must be free and able to flee. So meaning it would flee otherwise, but this person can find this animal in a certain place. If, however, the animal is unable to flee because it's injured or sick or old, it is considered a constant state of capture, right? It cannot run. And same with domesticated animal, like your cat is running away from you, no. Or your dog or something, no, right? Your horse, they're not running away. So meaning domesticated animals, they in this semi-capture state or a capture state. We'll see. Always. So there, of course, there is some little leniency. Okay, but we'll see. One who traps the animal one who traps this animal has accomplished nothing. Therefore, his act does not violate the Torah prohibition, meaning animal that cannot flee easily, right? So he did not trap. So meaning it was captured, as we said, but it is prohibited under rabbinical law. Why? Because this animal does not want to be captured. So it feels captured. So that's why it is forbidden. So section B, subsection B. Objective must be for B to use trapping creature. Right. Under biblical law, one cannot violate Melachah of Trapping unless his purpose in trapping the animal is to make use of it. For example, one who captured deer violates the prohibition only if he does so for the meat or for its hide. If, however, one's purpose for trapping is not to use the animal, for example, he traps deer to prevent it from eating his plants, right? He has not violated the biblical prohibition. However, he has violated a rabbinical prohibition. Okay, so let's try to understand from the beginning. So, of course, as we said before, it must be constructive purpose. So, okay, right. So again, under biblical law, one cannot violate Melachah of Trapping unless his purpose of trapping animal is to make use of it. For example, meat, deer. Of course, when you trap deer, it must not be injured or seriously, at least seriously injured. That meaning seriously meaning it would make it treif, unless you let this deer heal or something for some time until it do shchita. It's a little different. Okay, right. So meaning if a person traps this deer for a meat, even meat for sale, meaning to sell to non-Jews. So I mean, me personally, I never tasted deer. I don't know. Does not sell in our stores. I mean, because of course there is the deer farms, but probably it's very, very expensive. I don't know. Once we tasted bison. They sell bison in sometimes in butcher store where we go. I don't know. It's very lean meat. Like, right. Very lean meat. Okay, but deer never tasted. Okay, no problem. So meaning that if a person need meat or need hide. So hide, sometimes they would use it for writing Sefer Torah, right? A kosher animal. Right. Continue. If, however, one purpose trapping is not for the use of the animal, for example, he traps deer to prevent from eating the plants. So today people buy the houses or summer houses, and we know someone, right? They bought summer house and good property, like a piece of property, someone in the mountains. but to put the fence around this property is like a huge. I'm not sure how big is the property, but it's big enough so that the fence is going to be like half of the, not the half, like many thousands of dollars. So people is reluctant to spend. They don't grow anything there. But the problem is, even they have a few fruit trees, the way I understand, and some other they try to grow some garden, but guess what? This deer come and they eat everything, right? So they try to prevent. I don't know what exactly they've done it recently, but they try to prevent these deer to come on their property. Right? Fence is too expensive. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Right. So meaning in this case, a person traps this deer not for constructive purpose. I mean, right. So it's like prevent from eating his plants or something. His fruits. Right. So meaning it's not for meat or for hide. It's person violated rabbinical law. Okay. So meaning a person is not capturing for the sake of the animal, right? For the sake of preventing animal do some damage. So that's a different level. So rabbinical again, it's forbidden. So next one is C, creature that commonly trapped. The Torah prohibition of trapping applies only to creatures that are commonly trapped for the purpose of using the trapped creatures. For example, a rabbit, a parrot, or deer, or deer. Okay. I'm not sure what they do with the parrots. Maybe sell them. I'm not sure. One who captures a creature that is not commonly trapped, for example, fly or mosquito, has not violated biblical Melachah. Even the objective is to trap them, was to use them for some purpose, and not simply to prevent them from doing the harm. Very interesting. He has, however, violated rabbinical law. See section 5, so it's next section C. See page 353 for further discussion of the trapping flies. Okay, so flies is has been descended, especially in Sukkah. It's warm and you eat outside and you have you made a kiddush. Right, so for example, during the day we do kiddush on a juice, on a grape juice. We don't use wine because we need to just on holidays. Were given us half of the holidays was to enjoy ourselves, right? To enjoy, meaning eat, right? Sleep a little maybe, and learn, right? The rest of the holidays, but people do 3% of learning and the rest of the enjoying themselves, visiting their friends. It's absolutely not correct how you should spend the holidays. So me personally, of course, you can eat, you can enjoy family, take a short nap wherever, and go back to Sukkah and learn as much as you can. Right, as David HaMelech said, that the Sukkah that is going to save you, right, in a time of danger. Let's stay in the Sukkah. So why I'm saying this? All of the beasts they found you, all of the flies they come. Flies come. I don't know why fly. I mean because of they smell the food, but beasts they come for a wine, and not for a juice. And some people have apple juice or something. So they smell it from very far away, right? So we have to get rid of these flies and bees. So from the beginning, the creature that is commonly trapped. The Torah prohibition of trapping applies only to creatures that are commonly trapped for the purpose of using a trapped creature. For example, a rabbit, a parrot, or deer. So a rabbit, yes, maybe sell not just for meat. There is no problem. Some not Jew contacted me. It's not first time. Sometimes I wish I have this AI or something, right? And to send them replies, because it's exactly the same replies. They say proudly, I don't eat this disgusting pig, right? They say there's no problem with non-Jews to eat the pig. Is a pig worse than the rabbit? Maybe health-wise, but is it proven? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it's proven. Maybe I never looked into that. The meat of the pig is much worse than the pig meat of the rabbit. I'm not sure. Maybe yes, maybe not. Right, but it's not forbidden for non-Jews. Right, so meaning you can sell them this rabbit, parrot, maybe as a pet. I'm not sure. Deer, right? The deer, of course, for meat of the hide, and of course fish, right? Of course, fish. One who captures the creature that is not commonly trapped, so fly or mosquito. So why you don't? Because there is no use for them, unless person has, I don't know, some frogs or something that eat this thing. Like one person asked me like how to care for frogs, what to feed the frogs. Something, or are allowed to feed the frogs like live insects. I mean, I have a few people ask me about the frogs. Of course, it's beautiful life. That's what the person cares about, the frogs as a pet, and they know the left or the right. I ask them to learn Torah every day. Yeah, I learn. So you want to join our class? What are you going to learn? I said something that you did not cover yet. Oh yes, what is it? I said, what did you cover? I learned, how do you know I didn't cover? I said, what did you cover? I read sometime Parsha. Okay. I said, yeah, for sure you did not cover any that you learned. Very exciting. And people care, like, they ask this unusual question. I mean, there is no problem with the unusual question, but you see from the question that people care about these frogs, whether you can feed them with the live insects or not. Okay. So meaning if this person is going to capture this fly, right, so to feed their frogs, so maybe it is for constructive purpose, but for rest of us, I don't need frogs, I don't need snakes, right? Nothing, right? So we just try to be a servant of Hashem. That's hard enough without caring for these strange creatures, right? So in this case, of course it's going to be for constructive purpose, but for rest of us, flying mosquitoes not for constructive purpose, meaning that it's not violate the biblical prohibition, Melachah, right? Even the objective trapping was to use them for some purpose. Okay, so meaning not simply to prevent them from harming them. So meaning what? Even because the majority of the people would not use these flies for constructive purpose, so even these people who have these frogs, and they would feed frogs, so it's still they did not violate the biblical law, which is good. Hashkafa violated rabbinic law, right? So meaning even a trap for no purpose, so no purpose, right? So it's like sometimes like you see people have nothing to do in their life, and they sit around the table for 3 hours, for 4 hours, 5 hours, and they have nothing to do. They talk and they see fly, and they cover the fly with a cup, like a plastic cup. It's absolutely forbidden. Right now I'm talking about Shabbos or Yom Tov. Absolutely forbidden. So next example D, closure and confinement. By biblical law, one transgresses the Melachah of Trapping only if one confines the creature to the area small enough to allow him to easily take hold of it, even if he when he wishes to do so. Easily double quotes, is here defined as being able to grab the animal without having to rest between attempts. To rest between attempts, so if you try to catch a chicken, right? It's right, and the person does not have experience. I think in the book All for the Boss, this tzaddikas, what is it? The daughter of Rav Herman Zatzal, Yaakov Yosef Herman Zatzal. So she grew up in America, in New York. Yeah, it was beginning of 20th century, but New York was like back there, like maybe like Poland today, maybe like Russia today, right? We had the electricity, we had running water. Of course, the plumbing was not an advanced, but right, it was much more advanced than there. And there she goes like 100 years back. Right, you go to the shoychet, you go to the chicken, you have to salt it, you have to catch it, you have to this, you have to that, so all of these things. right? And then she describes how she was chasing the chicken, and she was afraid of the chicken. The chicken was afraid of it, of this lady. So it was a very interesting story. All right, so meaning this the chicken is not confined. I mean, because it's hard to catch it. So if it's somewhere like in a basket or something, yeah, or something in a cage, yeah, well, it is caught, right? Been right caught, but otherwise it's not. Right. Just one second, quickly to review. By biblical law, one transgresses the prohibition of trapping only if one confines creature to the area small enough to allow him to easily hold of it, even when one wishes to do so. Okay, so meaning has been understood. So very tiny compared to this animal. Easily here defined as being able to grab the animal without having the rest between attempts. So meaning you don't have to run from one corner to another. So meaning if you have a bird and it's you close it in a room, so it's not being caught actually, right? And based on the biblical level, on the rabbinical maybe, but on the biblical for sure not. Yeah, go try to catch the bird or squirrel, right? That right. So somebody told me that a squirrel got into somebody's apartment, and these people because I'm not sure what happened where we live. We have these nets, mosquito nets. So maybe they did not close the nets. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's through the net. I'm not sure. And they had dogs, and dogs were like two dogs. Everybody were at work, and these dogs find a thing to play with a squirrel. So they running around, jump, and they basically tear down the whole apartment, all three of them, right? And people came. This lady came from work. So that's it. There is no apartment. They this dog destroyed it. Right. On the rabbinic law, right, by rabbinic law, he transgressed Melachah, even the capture not closely confined. So meaning it's even a bigger area, but the animal feels that it is confined. It is threatened. So if it's in a forest or something, it's not threatened.